So welcome again to the New Agents in Town, episode 4.
Yeah, so today's episode is going to be about the importance of failure. How do our failures make us grow and move forward?
Yep.
So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be sharing some of our personal stories with you, and hopefully this will motivate you to keep pushing forward and not focus on your failures as a negative thing. So do you want to talk about a personal failure that you encountered on your real estate journey so far?
So yeah, of course. I had a client in the past that I met her from 2020, beginning of 2024.
Okay.
I met her through a listing that I had. She's been looking for a place for rent, for her and her son,
Mm-hmm.
for quite a long time already.
Okay.
And I've been helping her. I've been helping her since then.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that she has a pet. And listen, I love pets. I love dogs. I love cats. I love any type of pets.
They make it hard.
But it make them hard to find a place for them,
Right.
because not a lot of landlords feel comfortable by accepting pets
Right.
for so many reasons they might have, you know. But if it's let's say for example, if it's a service dog, legally you cannot deny them. But my client had a dog, and they're looking for a place for mom, son, and the pet.
Okay.
Dog. It was tough. It was difficult to find her a place, and I managed to find her a place.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing the paperwork. They accept her application, but then after that, she was like, "I think I'm gonna pass on this one," even though that she really liked that place in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So then I asked her, "Why? What's the reason that you're moving on from this place?"
Right.
And she said that it's because I don't know. I feel like I don't need this place anymore right now. I found family members that can give me some time to live with them for like a few months, and then I guess I'll reach out back to you later.
Okay.
So then I asked her. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you. You have all the freedom to accept whatever's best for you.
Right.
But I also am a little bit concerned about what are you going to do when those months that the family members gave you. What are you gonna do?
Right. Like, what's her plan?
What's her plan? Right.
Right.
So she didn't know what to answer,
Mm-hmm.
and she just said like, for now, let's just pause it for now, and then once I feel like I do need you, I will call you back. So I said,
Okay.
Yeah, not a problem. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
A few months after that, she reached back to me and she's like, now I really need a place because I don't have where to go anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, not a problem. And she does have a really good criteria. Her income is really good.
Mm-hmm.
She has a really good credit score.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would have denied her by just seeing that. It was a little tough again because of the pet.
Mm-hmm.
So I found her another place. They was tough in the beginning to accept the pet, and talking back and forth with the listing agent.
Mm-hmm.
We get into a deal in a situation where whether both they were the tenant and the landlord, they felt comfortable. And again, she got accepted by an application right away.
Okay.
Everything was fine, and was coming in next Tuesday. She's supposed to already present all the money so we can give it to the landlord.
Mm-hmm.
And again, she was like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna pass on this again." So then I asked her, "Why is that?"
Right.
She's like, "Oh, because my family are gonna give me a few more months to live with them." So I said, "Okay, yeah. I mean, but what's gonna happen later? Is it gonna happen the game? The same thing again?"
Right.
I don't understand. And she's like, it's just been a little bit tough. My situation is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still married. I do have a home, but that's all she said. So I just need some time to think about it. So I was like, okay, not a problem. So based on what she said, based on what happened already 2 times, that with 2 places that she get accepted, I was trying to figure it out why was that. And I had a feeling because whatever's going on with her marriage or family problems and things like that, she was not. It was not easy for her, and of course, I don't know what's going on in there, and I wanted to give her space. And again, she writes me back now recently, like a week ago, now in 2025.
Oh God.
And she's like, now this time I really need a place. I do really need a place. I need you to please help me out. So I said, can I call you? Do you think if I can call you? She said, like, yeah, no problem. So I called her, and then she says, I told her, I found it 2 places. I do understand the situation that you're going through or whatever you have. I do understand everybody has their, up and downs.
Right.
But I need you to guarantee me that this time is going to any apartment that you, of course, you liked it and you get accepted, you're gonna take it.
Right.
Because it's not about the money. It's not about how much money am I gonna make. It's not any about that. But it's also about my time that is worth it, and the time that I can also put it into somebody else that might also need my help. Put it also to you, but at the end of the day, you're gonna end up canceling. So then it's like, when did all that time went to?
Right. It's a waste
so I need
of time.
you to exactly. So I told her, I need you to guarantee me that this time you're going to take the apartment that, of course, you liked it, and you get approved. And she said, like, okay, not a problem. So right now I'm working with her, but in my head is already like a little of not that trust anymore, because I feel like it's gonna happen again.
So do you think if you were to have that hard conversation of letting her know, hey, don't waste my time, like, I'm here to help you, but you need to let me know that you're serious moving forward with me. Do you think if you would have had that initial conversation, the first initial contact that you had with her, that you would be in a different spot right now?
Could be. Yeah. But I'm not that type of person who was gonna be like so straight up to you and tell you, like, listen, are you really do that or not?
Right.
I'm not gonna work with you. I'm not like that. I'm trying to. Every person is a different world, and I'm also trying to understand everybody and try to help them based on their experience, based on their criteria, based on their personality or who they are or how they are, and try to also accommodate myself to them as a client.
Right, because I think the last thing that you want to feel is like you're being used.
Exactly.
Right? That's a horrible feeling.
Exactly.
I feel bad for you that you went through that.
It's terrible. Trust me, it's terrible. I put so much effort. I did my phone calls. I was doing my research. I put so much time on it. For later, not even nothing. Nothing. No, at least she get accepted and nothing. Just you know what? I don't want to take it anymore. I was like, so then, what did I do? Nothing. I waste my time, and it feels bad. It really feels bad. Trust, and I don't wish this to anybody.
Moving forward, do you think that it's going to be easier for you to have that conversation with any clients that you work with in the future?
Of course, because you learn from it. You earn experience. Then later you know how to take how to deal with a situation. And every time you do have a client, you already put your boundaries on the table. You know what to say. You know how to tell them the things. Everything has to be, of course, respectfully, professional, and always with a kindness, because there's, by the end of the day, is your client and you're supposed to be there for them to take care of them.
Right.
And every time you get more confident by talking to them. So yes, I feel like it's going to help me a lot throughout the process with your future clients.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that it's going to make you stronger moving forward. Definitely more sharp, more honest, right? Yes. You want to be honest. You don't want to.
No, of course
not.
I know. Definitely. But yeah, how about you? I would like to listen to something that you might also have.
Yeah, so I actually went through this about a week ago. I've been working with a client. She's a renter.
Okay.
And I started working with her about 3 months ago.
Okay.
Right? And her whole background of her story is she's living with her mother in a small house. and she has 3 sons. So, long story short, there's not enough room and she needs a new place.
Okay.
So, we got in contact and, she signed everything that she needed to, help me look for her. And recently we just came across this apartment complex. It was in Pomona and everything went well, we were talking to the representative. There was such good positive energy in the air, and she was very emotional, and I think that's where it turned right there, turned in a negative way. Her emotions got involved very quickly. She called me on the phone like, Liz, like, I love this apartment. It's everything I could have ever wanted. When can we sign this paperwork? I want to move in right away. Like, she fell so in love with that unit that I was happy for her, and I was getting emotional myself because I was helping her.
Exactly.
So, like I said, I'm going to make this as short as possible, but we recently heard back from the representative. They were processing her application. Like, it was going well, you know what I mean? Like, the process
smoothly.
was moving forward. Right. But it got to that last step where the application, like, all her pay stubs, like her background checks, her credit score, it was all getting processed. And I got a call from the representative, and she was like, I hate to pass along this bad news, but her application has been denied. We're moving forward with another client.
Wow.
So, yeah, like, at that moment, my heart, like, sank because I didn't know what I was going to do.
But why was that, though?
Well,
did they tell you the reason why your client got denied?
They did. I mean, they said, listen, her credit was not the highest, and this unit that she was interested in, it was on the higher end of her price range. So they were worried that she was not going to have enough money to pay the rent.
To cover the expenses.
Right. So they were like, listen, like, we can't move forward with your client. I'm sorry.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, once I got that call, we talked through it. I hung up the phone, and I'm going to tell you straight up, I sat there in silence for like 10 minutes. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to say to my client.
I know.
What am I going to say?
That's the worst part.
I literally sat there and I was thinking to myself, I was like, how can I make this seem like it's a good thing? How, like, you can't. It's impossible. You can't turn a negative thing into a positive.
Especially when they felt connected already with that place.
They thought that they were going to get it. Like, they were like, 1, 2, 3, I signed the paperwork, it's done.
Yeah, move in.
Right, like, that's how emotional she was.
Wow, I can't believe that. It feels bad. It feels bad. I'm not representing your client, but I really feel bad.
Like, you feel bad, right? But, like, so I called her, right? And I'm like, listen, your application was denied. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
So immediately, like, she didn't answer right away. So I was like, hello,
are you okay?
Hello, are you okay? Right. So she didn't answer right away.
Hold on, you were on the phone or you sent her a message? Okay.
No, I was on the phone with her. This was a phone call. So she didn't answer right away. But then I was like, oh, like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Like, I thought the phone was like breaking up or something.
Right.
So immediately she was like her voice dropped. And you know how people get when they're like about to cry? Like, their voice is like very shaky.
Yes.
That was her, right? And she was like, oh, like, okay, like, what are we gonna do now? And I was just like, listen, like, we can keep looking, but I think that your best option is to stop searching for your home right now. Continue where you're living, but focus on building up your credit, because if you don't, I think this is going to be a reoccurring problem that we run into when we look at any property, because like I said before, her credit was not the highest. So I told her that, and again, like, very, very short answers from her. She was like, wow. Okay, like, I'll keep working on it. And I was like, okay, like, listen, I'm not going to forget about you. I'm still your agent. Right. I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to follow up with you in 3-6 months from now, and I'm going to find you your home. And she was just like, okay, like, we'll be in touch. Like, I literally felt
God.
so bad. I'm not gonna lie, like, I was about to cry. I was very emotional.
I mean, that part is so bad, I'm not gonna lie, but something that you can also say to your client is that there are third-party companies that help you to fix your credit.
Right.
It costs some money, of course, yeah, nobody works for free, but at the end of the day, I think it would be worth it. If she can afford that and she can have the time to call that whoever offers those type of services,
right,
and help her to fix their credit, it'll be very helpful for her, for her to be able to later find a place that where she really likes it.
Totally.
Because that's the only part that denied, I guess.
It really is. It was the big thing was the credit.
The credit score.
The credit.
Yeah. These days, to whoever is looking at it, this credit score is very important, and you have to always pay your bills on time. Never get late one of those payments, because one late payment can drop you a lot of points, and you don't want that. Those little points that it can go down is going to take you a lot more time to build them back. So take care of your credit score here is very important.
Yeah, so you can avoid situations like this, because let me tell you, that was really, as an agent and the agent's point of view, like, it's not fun passing along bad news, and I can't imagine how my client felt receiving it, so I don't want anybody else to go through that problem.
Yeah, definitely. So, take care of your credit score.
Yeah, that's the main point right here. And I think more importantly, if I would have addressed the situation firsthand, like I said, I wouldn't have known how to give her this feedback now. I wouldn't have learned how to take this hard step. Like, as hard as it is, you have to do it. And I think it would have been easier to do it that initial first contact that we meet.
Yeah, definitely. And like as a lesson for both of us is always, from the first meeting that you have with your client, make sure that all the requirements that usually a lot of landlords out there they ask for, your client can have.
Right.
So you don't make your client go through those painful moments when they get denied. It's not an easy thing to later tell them, listen, you get denied for a beautiful place where you really liked it.
Yeah, I know it's hard.
So
Believe me, it's
hard. It's hard to tell them that,
yeah,
and be the person who has to pass the bad news. It's not easy. So that's why from the beginning we learn that we always have to sit down with our clients, make sure they have their requirements in place for us to be able to help them out. Because by the end of the day, yes, we can help them still. But if they get denied, that's the part that we try to avoid.
Yeah, and I just want to touch on something really quickly. When I first started working with my client, everybody that I talked to, right, whether it was my mentor, friends, family, I let people know what I'm doing throughout the day, right? And everybody that I talked to, they were like, oh, you're wasting your time. Don't help her out. Don't do this. Don't do that. And I was like, wow, like, would you want to work with an agent that gives up on you that quick? No.
Exactly.
No, right? So that's what I'm saying to myself. I'm like, why would I give up on my client right away? No, I'm here to help you, and I want to find you your dream home.
Exactly.
So why would I give up?
Exactly. No, that's a very good point, and that's something that separates you from the rest, which is good.
Yeah.
But also something important is, don't give up in the things that you know that you can help, but the things that you know that is not in your hands to control it and your hands to help it. It's more just to be realistic. Like,
and
things
I think that's what we need to work on.
Exactly. Like, things, for example, like I said, your client didn't have a good credit score.
Yeah.
So we can just tell them, listen, I'm sorry, I cannot waste my time, next one. Not like that. No. But you can still try to help them by building their credit score, advise them how to do it, make your payments on time. Please make sure that everything is all right. If you have any questions, concerns, please call me, text me. I'm gonna be here for you.
Right.
Like, be there for your clients, so they don't feel like they're alone in this process.
Like you just abandon them.
Exactly.
Right. Like, no.
Because that's what I've heard it from clients, that the past agents they've been working with, they're basically, no, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna pass on you.
Yeah, I don't find that to
and
be
they
right.
don't even try to at least to to figure out a way to help them, at least an advice, at least something of value the client they can take.
Yeah.
And it can help a lot. You never know. It can, that little piece of advice that you can provide to them, for them could be a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's one main key takeaway from this podcast that we want you guys to have, is to say the hard thing first. It saves everybody time, and people want to work with somebody who's honest and who won't avoid, tough conversations. People like honesty. They don't want, they value honest people more than, getting comforted, and as much as that's important, I think honesty tops it.
Right.
Another key takeaway that we want you guys to have is to view failure as data, right? And not a setback.
Right.
And ask yourself, really, what did this teach me? Right? Because I know I learned a lot, and I'm sure you did from your personal experience.
Of course.
Don't let people waste your time.
Yep, definitely.
That's a big thing. And it's hard to say that to people because you don't want to come off as rude.
Yes, no, we don't want to sound like that, but
your time is valuable.
But exactly, and everybody's time is valuable, and nobody would like to feel like you're using me, or you just call me when you need this and the other and that, and then by the end of the day, they cancel it, and it's like all that effort that you did for no reason.
Yeah. And then the very last takeaway that we want you guys to know about is we want you guys to talk about your failures. Don't be ashamed of them. And we want you to normalize them, because when you talk about it, you don't notice it, but you're growing and you're helping others grow too, because we share the same experiences. We're human. We go through similar experiences every single day.
Yes.
And it's normal to talk about it.
Completely. So I would like to leave you guys with a very important message that I have for you. And it says like this: there's no growth without resistance in real estate. Every failure is a rep in the gym. You either lift it better next time or you get crushed again.
Damn, that was really powerful.
Yeah, thank you.
That was really powerful. So that's it for this week's episode. We'll see you next week.
Yep, see you around.